DUI has mandatory minimum penalties. Those mandatory minimums depend on how many times you've been convicted of DUI in the past 7 or 10 years, depending on if we're talking about a felony DUI or not. If you'd like to know the mandatory minimum penalties on a first offense DUI, check out this video. If you're facing a third offense of DUI within the last 7 years, the penalties are extraordinarily high. Much like on a first and second, they'll be divided, assuming alcohol is involved at a 0.15 alcohol level. The mandatory minimum penalties will include fines, license suspensions, probation, interlock, and more. Really, the thing we're concerned about is the time in jail. If your breath test or blood test is below 0.15, the mandatory minimum penalty on a third offense in 7 years in Washington State begins with 90 days in custody. It's followed by 120 days of electronic home monitoring. There is no alternative sentence allowed on a third offense. If that breath test level was above 0.15, those numbers go even higher. 120 days in jail is the minimum, and 150 days of electronic home monitoring. If you've already had 3 DUIs and a fourth one occurs within 10 years total, now we're looking at felony territory. And instead of talking about days in jail, we're talking about months or years in the prison system. If you're facing a DUI and you have multiple previous charges, even if they've been reduced from DUI to something else, the stakes for you literally couldn't be higher. You need a skilled DUI attorney on your side right from the start to try to protect you, your family, and your future.